Welcome to the RedIn30 podcast, where we talk about Jesus, truth, and us, all using red words.
Using red words. Black.
We're here.
Hey, you can't turn me down.
Wow.
It's 2020.
Uh-oh, it's 2020 already? Is this? Hold up. This is the first episode of 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, you
And what episode is it?
This
20.
is episode uno of the nueve year, and it is episode 20.
I was about to say, boy, I was lost, but you lost me. I was like,
As soon as I say uno, it was
heard of one. What?
it's the first.
The
No,
first.
it's just one.
The
Yeah.
first.
Nah, that's not even how you say first, though.
Primero.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if
Okay.
that's right, but it sounds
Okay,
good.
it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Primary.
Yeah. 20. It's
but
episode 20.
Episode 20, episode 20, and it's 2020, which is crazy. So, like, it's crazy that our first episode of 2020.
It's episode 20.
God work it out, man. It's working out. Episode
Yeah.
20. And we here. Happy New Year's. New Year.
Oh, I'm about to get you, boy. I was like, it's only one.
Unless you say New Year's
I had to
Day.
correct
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Ownership.
And like I'm gonna turn because we hadn't done an episode since Christmas.
Christmas.
Since the Christmas
Right.
episode.
And it was like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, 2 weeks before Christmas. Yeah, so it's been
Don't
like
let
a
'em go
month.
there.
It's been like a month. It's been like a month or something since
Almost a month, yeah.
it's
December
almost a
15th,
month.
man.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
so we got it. We got it on our mind today. RedIn30. Welcome to RedIn30. Sponsored by RedIn30.com. RedIn30, where we talk about Jesus, truth, and you. All using red words. We love the entire Bible. We believe that the Bible is a story about you and us. Mm-hmm. But we believe the red words tell us who we really are in the story. You can find yourself everywhere. Jesus shows you who you really are from the original beginning. So that's RedIn30, RedIn30.com. Follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. And so we're doing RedIn30 is an actual 30-day reading of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And you can do it in 30 days. It's about 89 chapters. I always try to count. I think it's like 89 chapters, I think it is.
I never
Because there's always 2 chapters on the last day, I know. So it's about 89 chapters, but it's a reading. I think the consistency of it is not a regular daily devotion. I don't like to call it that.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got a devotion, but I think that you are devoted. I think that's who you are.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a time of day or a moment to do that. And so, but I
Right.
do think that the red words teach us consistently how to be all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's a 30-day reading of that. And we started this a few years back, maybe a little longer, just doing it, just GP with just us. And then we started making it official. And people started, I don't want to say just enjoying it, but they started learning from it.
Yeah.
And then I learned, I'm still learning. Today, I can tell you something. Like today, we was reading,
To this
what
day.
today's reading was? Matthew
13, 14,
13 through 15. I learned some. One, 2 facts I learned today.
Okay, break it down.
One of them was, has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but one of them was,
That don't matter.
one of them was, they got a part where he says, y'all say, talking to the Pharisees, like, y'all say y'all got to honor your father and your mother. But then at another part, it says something like, but then you say when it's time to, I think it was custom to either take care of your parents financially or pay them back for things or use your finances to do good things for your parents.
Yeah, probably so, because that's their custom today.
Yeah, right. And they raise you. And everything, right? Like everything about you, right?
Right.
But it was like, it says honor your father and mother. So obviously they were connecting honor with money at the time. But then it says honor your father and mother. But you said, but the Pharisees were telling them, but you don't have to say that. You can say, oh, well, I don't have to do this for y'all because I already got this money dedicated to God. Right?
That was the Pharisees were saying.
That the Pharisees were saying, Jesus, like, you wrong. See, you talking out 2 sides of your mouth. But he was saying the Pharisees were trying to say that because they were just trying to get their money from him and not from to keep the commandment, which was honor your father and mother. So I learned that today because I didn't know.
Love that.
There's a part in it that says it and it's confusing.
Yeah.
And I just started looking up words and I realized what it meant. So that's one. The second one was, you remember he's talking to that woman and she wasn't a Jew, but her daughter had died or was sick or something like that, and she wanted she was begging Jesus to come in, and they was like, send her away.
Yeah.
Then he said, it's not meat for me. He said just like this in the King James, he said, it's not meat for me to cast the children's bread to the dogs, right? And then of course she said, but the dogs eat of the crumbs. But I looked up meat, and it really meant like it wasn't a good look. So when he said meat, like it means like so he's saying it's not a good look for me.
Optics wise.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't look good for me to do something for you that's only supposed to be for these people.
Yeah.
According to the way they're looking at things. And of course, she said everything, and he was like, "Great is thy faith." But I thought it was dope how he said it is not a good look.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be a good look for me to do a miracle for you because you're not from this country.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody in that culture thought. We God's chosen people is for us. I mean, the church is a lot like that right now too. Yeah, don't nobody else get healing but us. You can only get it through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
And didn't he do it anyway?
yeah. He said, "Great is thy faith." He said, "Be it to
Yeah.
be whatever you want it." Whatever you want it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. And that's just today. I've read that before, but I never clicked into the words. And so that's a little short example of how RedIn30 works.
Every time.
Those words, yeah.
And we've done the cycle so many times, bro. But every time it's something new, something fresh, something that you hadn't seen
True.
That's
before.
the point.
That's the point. So New Year's is good for y'all? New Year's been good so far?
yes.
5 days in?
5 days in.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's fire.
Day 5.
Oh, let me say something. So RedIn30.com is brand new.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys have seen it, we've redone everything.
The brand new RedIn30.com.
Social media has changed a bit.
Yep.
Let us know what you think. New look. We have red clues now, guys.
Red clues. What are red clues?
Yeah,
Red
break it down,
clues.
Nakia. Because I, for one, I'm loving like all of the social vibes right now.
Yeah,
Are
me too.
you?
I think it's having
Yeah, I'm
fun.
loving it.
Good. We want a lot of interaction.
Yep.
So red clues every day. We post what today's reading is, and then there's a background photo.
Yep.
And so the way we were going to find those background photos, we picked one thing out of the reading for that day. It's random, guys.
What kind of thing? What kind of thing is
It could be anything.
Is it a complicated thing or is it a simple thing?
It's very simple.
It's a very
Okay, all right. It's simple, y'all. It's
very
simple.
But you know,
It's simple. You don't have to reach deep down in the bowels.
but we learn about the deep.
But
We
like,
learn to operate from the deep things.
if you want to share something you've learned, just in general, that's
cool.
awesome.
That's
too.
awesome. Yeah.
Right, but red clues is a different thing. It's just
But yeah, so absolutely feel free to share different, things that you get out of the reading or whatever, because that just helps us.
Yeah, to see more things.
See more things. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's view is a complete one. I heard that a long time ago. No person's one view is a complete one.
Yeah.
And no man is an island, so that means it's all connected, and there are things that other people can see. I mean, that's the point of interaction.
Yep.
And so red clues is dope.
It's like, you ever seen that movie? Dang, it's a quick sidetrack. That movie Vantage Point.
No. I think
Who was
was it like a shooting movie, like the shooting?
Yeah, there was a shooting in like a town square or something. But
Yeah.
like,
And they saw different points of view.
different accounts,
Yeah. I
different
gotta go watch it
vantage
again. Yeah, I
they saw
remember
the same.
the gun.
Oh,
It was
went
just
to gunshot.
fire.
the shooting movie.
I was like, we would never use it, but since
Duck.
that movie,
Oh my God, bro.
you're like, what
I used it already earlier.
did?
Yeah, but it was cool because everybody experienced the same thing, but they all saw different,
Different
things.
places. Yeah, I love it. That's witnessing.
Yeah.
That's being a witness. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Cool.
Yep.
That's actually what the Gospels are.
Yeah.
I think we're looking down. So that's
True.
cool. And I appreciate all four versions, no matter where they came from or who wrote them.
Yeah.
I appreciate them because it gives me. It fills in spaces in different places for me. Some are more descriptive in certain things, and some aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I read the version of Matthew where he fed the 5,000, and then I read it in another version, and it's more descriptive. But it's still the same principle, but it just describes a little. So reading all of them is important.
Yeah.
But cool, yeah. So
Yeah, I read something the other day too, man, where it was talking about the commandment, love the Lord your God. And so I forget which one. I think it was in Matthew. I read it where it was like Jesus said it, but then in one of the other books, he had asked the person asked the question,
and dude said
they
it, right?
answered it.
Yeah,
So it was just like cool to see, like the
it's cool to
difference
see.
in
Yeah, right. And it doesn't matter. I think sometimes we get caught up on certain things and we miss the principle.
Yeah.
That's in there, and the bottom line thing that we should be like building on. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, so and then red clues. So red clues. So I think we might do something. We might do like I might do like a contest of red clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might do like a contest coming up. We'll
Maybe
see
for
if,
like
if it pick
tea
up.
or something.
Yeah, if it pick up, we'll do a contest and we'll give some teas or some hoodies or stuff like that.
Dope.
Person that get like the most red clues in a week or something.
Yeah.
Right red clues.
Right, yeah, right
like
red
that.
clues.
Correct.
Has anybody gotten a correct red clue
No
yet?
one has
Nobody's
gotten
got
it
that.
correct.
Oh man.
Let me double.
Yeah, nobody's got
Womp,
none.
womp, womp. I ain't even got that sound effect.
Somebody
Wah,
said
wah,
one
wah.
person. Maybe one person.
Maybe one person?
She said yeah.
Yeah, and I guess this is a great red clues is a great explain that as a great segue into what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Because it could all be so simple. It could all be so simple, but we just complicate it up.
Yeah.
And we just we make it this ain't even the scripture that was going, but it's the simplicity that is in Christ. Jesus says my yoke is easy. You know what I'm saying? Like It's very, very simple if you build the right way.
Yeah.
From the right foundation. But if not, it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it becomes complicated. And then what happens is complicated is after it's complicated, you start complaining about stuff.
Yeah.
And I wrote this down the other day. It kind of came up to me that when you complain, you're making yourself compliant with the complications. So in other words, and it's all complex words,
Yeah.
but you make it more complicated with the process of it, and those words can be interchanged.
Yeah.
So but today is dope because I think what the red words also do for me, and what Jesus does for me, is simplify life. I think it makes it simple.
Absolutely.
But what measure you meet is measured to you.
Yeah.
So if you approach, that's what I think they do it in Red Clues. Like they looking for something so because we've mysticized.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
We've mysticized God and we've supernaturaled Him and we've spiritualized. We've done everything that's like in the fog. So much, but I don't know why everybody wants the fog. They want the glory to be the fog, but nobody likes to drive in the fog. That's crazy, right?
True story.
Like you can't see nothing in the fog.
Yeah.
You can't see zero in the fog, right? But for some reason, they want the fog of the Spirit to come in, right? And so we made everything so foggy.
Yeah.
When it's so simple, and so in the beginning, right? We'll start over there.
Okay.
I think
It's a good place to start.
That's a good place to start, right? Like, in the beginning, and that's the place where we were made, of course.
Yeah, right.
But then how we were made, was made in God's image and His likeness, and He breathed Himself into us, and we became a living soul.
Yep.
And He gave us some instructions on how to do things, but He said, "Don't mess with this tree, knowledge of good and evil," right?
Yeah.
Because then you'll surely die, like right. They say you die, whatever. So, interesting fun fact is when they get to the part about the serpent, Satan never lied to him one time. You can look in that story. He never lied when he started talking to him. He never lied. He just kind of contorted their perspective. He took what was already there and kind of twisted it and made them think a different way. And so because they thought a different way, they acted a different way. They forgot the original thing that they were told to and not to do.
Yeah.
Just because he turned it. Perspective. Perspective is everything.
No deception. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little deception, because deception is not necessarily a lie or a blatant lie. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I look at a lot of times I read the stuff about him, he wasn't even lying to people.
Yeah.
Which is so good to realize how things are being tricked now. Like we looking for something that's like a blatant lie.
Yeah, we're looking for that
Instead of the
because we
things
say
that
devil
are
is a lie.
just twisted a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, the
devil is a lie.
The devil's a lie. The devil's a lie. The devil's a lie. And I get it. I get what you're trying to say, but that can be deceiving in itself.
Yeah, because then it gets you focusing on lies.
Focusing on lies, right. And then even lies sometimes are not all the way lies. Sometimes lies are like they got a little bit of truth in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you
So
go look,
tricky.
you go look at him when he talking in the Garden of Eden. You go look when he talking about Job. You go look when he tipped he didn't lie one time.
Yeah.
No.
He didn't lie about anything. The only thing he was trying to attack was perspective.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if I can get you to think a certain way, I get you to be a certain way. And so now you got the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And of course, they ate out the tree, da-da-da-da-da. The whole story goes on. They never asked for forgiveness. They never told God they were sorry. They never acknowledged that they were wrong for trying to think that way outside of God. They never acknowledged it.
Good point.
And so now we're here in 2020 with some of the same symptoms that happened at the beginning of the time. Ain't that crazy?
Well.
But it's the knowledge. And so, you know, you can, and this will be very simple to get to, because I'm looking up no scriptures and the word knowledge. So, So, you know, everybody likes knowledge. Everybody wants to be in the know. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to not know.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know more. We go to school for that.
You don't be ignorant.
You don't want to be ignorant, right? We go to church for that.
Yeah.
We read books.
We have access to
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, right? But all power ain't good power. That's good. I like that. All power ain't good, but
Google.
just because knowledge is power doesn't mean all power is good.
Right.
You know, electricity is good power, but it's not good when you put your finger in the socket.
Right.
Or something like that. 'Cause that's a wrap for you, bro. Like it's over with, but it's power. It's
Right.
still power.
Right.
And it's going to function with the relationship that you have towards it.
That's true.
So however you connect yourself to it, however that's how it's gonna function. But knowledge, and so I'll tell you how I got this, to be honest. And this probably can resound with a bunch of us with different things. Doesn't matter what place, but for me it was, I was thinking about something. I was in the kitchen and I was thinking about something, and I had a little pain hit me or whatever. So, y'all know when pain hits you, you have to catch yourself quick because you're like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially when you're learning about being healthy, which is good, and learning about doing things, but then you also learn all the stuff that could happen to you.
Right.
All the different diseases. They got so many different diseases, all the different viruses, diseases, different deficiencies. Then I got to eat. I got to have the right level of iron in my blood, and I got to have the right potassium, and then got to make sure my insulin and my sugar right, and then I got to make sure I'm not focused my eyes. I can't be looking at the screen too long because I'm losing stuff in my eyes. And so many different things. And what you can do, and let me speak for myself, and everybody speak, but what can happen is you can become fearful. You can become what they call a hypochondriac. I don't know if that's a word, but like they got different words for it.
Hypochondriac. That's when you always think you hurt when you're not hurt.
Yeah, right. You can become that, and then they got other ones too. Yeah. That are mental ways to say it, because you become so worried and fearful. But
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that if you run a red light, it's possible to get hit with a car.
Yep.
It's possible to cause a terrible. We know this, right?
Super possible.
But the knowing of it is not really what makes sense. It's how you disseminate the knowledge. It's how you filter the knowledge.
Yeah.
We don't need to, like, we're not
disseminate.
That's a word. Yeah, we don't need to be scared of driving because that's a possibility, because we know that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So because we know, we also know something else. We also know that if we don't drive through a red light, right?
Possibility.
It's a possibility that we'll be okay. Sometimes people, people do them things. That's when life comes in. That's holding the conversation. But knowing something, but you become fearful, man. You be like, man, you got a little back pain, like, oh my God, like my back, oh Lord, and I don't know if my deficiency in my whatever. I ain't got no vitamin E. You ain't no vitamin E for your back, but it's just, but you're so worried. You're so worried but you got knowledge.
All right.
There was this movie.
Good.
I can't remember. I can't remember the name.
Stiller.
His name.
Ben
Yes. He was an expert in like all the things that could kill you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And he did like
Smitty?
insurance
No.
for.
No, Walter Smitty. It's Walter Smitty. Not Walter Smitty. Walter Smitty.
Yeah.
Because he had the fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was
So what you talking about?
Yeah, he was paranoid all the time.
Paranoid all the
Because he
time.
was so knowledgeable about everything that can kill you. And it was like so many, like a percentage of how many people walk over this that could fall in. Like it was crazy.
He got a handkerchief wiping off doorknobs and stuff.
Bro, I couldn't imagine doing all that, bro.
They got people like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't live.
You can't live.
No.
And you know how many things can kill you? Like I'm just saying.
A lot, bro.
In essence,
lot.
right?
That's why, because I like, all right, like you remember, I don't know if you remember, but
All right.
like they had a point where they was just like, it was like a big, like, cancer thing or whatever. So it was like, don't use toothpaste because toothpaste give you cancer.
Right.
So
Everything.
we can't
Can't
brush
use
our
nothing.
teeth now.
Can't use nothing.
It was like they started bringing up everything that could possibly.
Everything
It's like,
possible
bro,
cancer. And
The list is retarded.
right.
It's
and then,
crazy.
Now you're anxious.
it's like, bro.
You work, like, what can I do?
you want me to do?
Yeah, what can I do? So you just sit in the room in the corner like this, scratching like a crackhead. Like
That's
you
me.
I don't want to go outside right now. Close the windows. The sun gonna burn and give me skin cancer. Right, bro. All that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not making, because I know
Right.
that there's
Right.
possibility for things, but knowledge is not just knowledge is not enough.
Right.
Not knowledge of the things.
Right.
So we have knowledge. I have knowledge that this is a book, but it's not until I pick it up and read it is it beneficial to me.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a different set of being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have to acknowledge that this is a book, but I have to be a reader.
Right.
In order for me to, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
It's your relation to them.
Right, but like people feel good. You ever, all right? Y'all ready?
Okay.
You ever bought a book and didn't read it,
Oh yeah.
but you feel good that you bought it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like
You mean like immediately read it immediately?
Yeah, like you didn't read it right then.
You still haven't
But
read it.
you might have had it for a while. You might have planned on reading it, but you still felt good that you bought it. Like I felt good that I made a step in.
You knew
it don't matter a book, anything.
Especially if I knew the book had some things in there that I needed to read.
Right.
I was happy I made that first step in buying it.
Buy it. But until you
Yeah.
read
Actually,
it,
yeah.
whatever's in it doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't matter that you bought it.
Yeah, people do that with working out.
have
People do
it,
that working
but
out. I'm gonna be honest. Let me be honest about myself. See, I be telling the truth. No cap. Cap free for 2020.
Cap free 2020.
Right? I bought a doggone gym membership last summer. and I might have been maybe 2 or 3 times.
Oh, bro.
Oh my! It's
It's
been
just
a
been
year
gone.
and a half.
That's
Maybe.
But I felt good when I went and did it.
Yeah.
I went signed about like, and I went like
I'm
that
about
first.
to make a change.
I went, man. I went, and I was like, yeah, and I felt good, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I got the key right there.
I got the key.
Right? But then
Keys.
it don't matter. Keys, right? But it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All people do different little things. You done bought a meal plan, or you done.
And it be bad too, because I'm guilty too, bro. Because sometimes you keep it, and you like, I'm gonna keep seeing this come out of my account. So eventually, I'm gonna go ahead and make a step, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And it don't work.
It be
Yeah, like I'm a sport.
then you be like
2 years later.
Yeah, then you be like, I'm gonna cancel this thing.
Still taking $45 out
Right.
I ain't 45, 95.
Boy, what kind of gym you at?
That old family plan, bro.
Oh,
I'm trying to put my friends on. God bless my friends. Don't ever say I ain't never done that for you. So,
Like, sheesh, boy.
so
You better
names
get a
and
massage every week and everything.
bro. So,
What kind of gym you
so,
going
but
to?
it's the illusion of progress.
Yeah.
It's the illusion. Knowledge can give you an illusion of making moves.
Right.
Yeah.
And
True.
G.I. Joe used to say this when I used to watch it when I was younger, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
I never knew what it was when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was like, knowing is half the battle. Like, yeah, knowing is half the battle.
That sound
G.I.
good.
Joe. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I never realized until I got older that the being, what doing, I thought it was at first, but then being enables the whole process. It
Yeah.
brings the doing and the knowing together.
Yeah.
And so,
You know,
but it's an illusion. So now you knowledge. What you about to say something?
it just makes me think about the enemy, how we were saying the devil never lied. It's like how much knowledge he actually has.
Right.
Like he has, right, way more than we do.
They say you know the Bible
Clearly.
better than us.
Yeah.
Right, but like you could do so much with so much knowledge, but
Right.
if you don't have the life, if you
have the
don't have the being, it doesn't change.
Don't matter.
Right.
Good point, girl. I like
Right.
that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And see, and that's the key. I mean, this is a very simple understanding to come to. That all knowledge that you get can convert into something. It can always convert into fear,
Yeah.
anxiousness, stress, worry. You say, well, all those are bad things. All right, well, let's go on the top side of neutral, whatever neutral is, right? It can turn into high-mindedness. It can turn into pride. It can turn into ego. Now you think you know something, so now you think you don't have to listen to nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible place. And now you
I
think
know
you know
people like
something.
that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And now you think you know something, so now,
They call them a know-it-all.
Yeah, know it all. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's and I find myself in all those places.
Okay.
I've been anxious,
I'm about to say, I
fearful,
used to be like
worried.
that.
You know what I'm saying? I've been careless. I've been, ego. It's been those places. It may not been way over in the water, but I've been over in those places.
Yeah.
And it's only been because I was trying to function in knowing something and in knowledge of something, but not knowing what I needed to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the big kicker is this. All of those things are insignificant. Everything that you learn. I mean, you can go to school. You can take classes. You can go to church. You can pray. You can whatever it is you think that brings understanding and knowledge to you. You can do all those things for years. But if you never come to the conclusion that you know without a shadow of doubt that you're a son of God, what makes you one with God, that you know you're one with God, none of that matters. I can prove it in church. Because we got people been in church for years. Know this.
Yeah.
Right? And they got all the scriptures.
All of them.
All of them. I mean, they quote them before you finish them. Come on, you be preaching, so you know. You, before you finish, they didn't quote it, but you saw that person quoting it. It's like, but why you ain't? I know you ain't doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got that
I
one,
know
bro.
you ain't got that one down, but you know it. You won't even let me finish it. Matter of fact, even when I say it, I'm trying to show you something new. You won't even let me show you nothing new because you know it.
Know it.
Or you think you know
Or
it.
you think you know it. You know what I'm saying? And so now, what empowers all other knowledge? They got all these other knowledge of all these other things, and it's not a bad thing. Like I'm not saying don't go read books and don't go learn things. I'm not saying that. But I've seen people do all those things and still not make progress. So what's the issue?
Right.
And the issue is that you don't go back to the root that you know because the first thing you should know is that I'm one with God.
Yeah.
I want to change that with a lot of the kids and young people that I'm around.
For sure.
Like I want to change from teaching them rights and wrongs, and they need to know those.
Right.
But I want to infuse oneness in it because
It'll take care of that.
Yeah, I just wish I would have, and it's all part of. But I just wish I would have known that I was one with God like, because it would have calmed me down so much.
Yeah.
That and the love of God, we really didn't learn.
Yeah.
Not young like
Not
that.
young like
it
that.
was
No,
all
we didn't.
his powers.
Yeah,
you
his
know,
power,
like
heaven and hell. Where you gonna go if you die tonight?
what to do. What
Right.
you do something wrong, you going this way. If you do
Yeah,
something
he
right,
see everything. He see everything now. He see everything. And I ain't gonna lie, that kept me.
Hey, Cap, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I told people over the holiday, I told Santa Claus is real. Because I don't care how people feel, boy. There had a lot of people acting good during the holidays because they thought Santa Claus
Hey.
was checking the list, making the list, checking it twice, trying to find out who naughty or nice. So like them jokers, like someone was at home, like I'm gonna be good for the whole winter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
And so, but we learn that. We learn behavior.
Yeah.
We learn behavior before we learn being. And behavior starts with the word
B.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, have your, right? Behavior, right? And so
That's good.
I wish I would do that. I would teach people even in new, whatever we want to call it, even people learning about Christ at first. We're going to teach that first.
Yeah, foundational, yeah.
Foundational. And then all the other knowledge.
That's a hell of a foundation. Well,
Bruh,
that's a heaven of a foundation.
Right.
there,
Yes.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because now your build out is more stable.
Yep.
Your build out is not built on your morality. You know what I'm saying? Your build out is more built on your, like you can't change your being.
Nope. Can't.
Just yield to that.
What I did
Yeah.
yesterday, it don't matter. I still am.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it don't matter, like I don't need to
Yeah.
be respectful or don't need to watch what I'm doing because, the principle of seed time harvest is still there. But you can't change my being. You know what I'm saying? You can take books away from me and all that stuff, but you can't change my being.
Right. You came here with it.
I came here with it as it. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Ooh,
wrap.
good example. We watched Jumanji yesterday. Have y'all seen Jumanji?
Jumanji.
Not the second one. Not
Not the second one, but you've seen the first one.
Yeah.
You know how they can
Wait,
hit their
you
chest?
said the first. You talking about the original one when we was
No,
little?
like the first one with Kevin Hart now.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
They just came out with another one recently.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one we saw. So but you know how you can hit your chest and see like
The
your strengths and weaknesses.
like on a video game.
Yeah, we was like, how dope that is. If
Yeah.
you in life when you were younger, if you knew like where your strengths were, and you don't like all they had to do was like be.
Yeah.
They couldn't force it. It's just like you just knew this because you were a zoologist. You know what I'm saying?
And I like the zoologist, and
how?
the map guy, the guy that knew the new map.
Like he can see
nobody else can
it,
see the
no
map
one else can
but
see
him.
it.
Yeah.
I thought that was so dope. 'Cause I'd seen the movie before, but I watched it again yesterday to go see the sequel. And I thought it was so dope that only certain people could do certain things.
Yeah.
And they were just playing their role.
Yeah.
You just yield to it too. Everybody just had to give up what they thought they were in the reality, and then yield
be
to
that.
be that.
And not only be
If
that,
only people told us.
but be that for each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Because everybody, it depended on.
Yeah, there was one little character that went in earlier, but he went in by himself. But he made a statement on one part. He said, "Well, I couldn't something with the black mamba. I couldn't do that. I couldn't whatever because he needed all the 5 players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to play all the parts.
Yeah.
And so that's dope. And they hit the chest and they can see their strengths and their weaknesses, and they'll know what to stay away from and what to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. But they had to realize how to be and how to be one together. I do believe that too. I do believe that no one's view is a complete one, and no man is an island. So I do believe that we learn our ultimate oneness with God through others.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people don't want to, because we have this real independent society where we don't want to depend on each other. But I think
Absolutely.
good and bad. If somebody do you something bad, somebody do you something good. It doesn't matter. It still teaches life. I've learned so much, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm the most enlightened I've been. Just off of just paying attention to things in a different perspective,
Yeah.
a different view, and then bringing it from. Then living the life from my oneness with God, not my trying to be one with God.
Yeah.
Or living life from my already oneness with God, not trying to either prove myself or prove anybody else, or change life or whatever, like change the world, like change, like that's never been a goal. You know what I'm saying? He just said go preach the gospel. He didn't say, hey, go you all the world and change it. He didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? It's go say the good news. What's the good news? I'm one with God. I come from a God that loves me. I'm one with Him, and now everything that I learn and pick up from here is built off of that foundation.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now we see how easy things that be good can turn bad. You You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to live off of it by itself. So the scripture says, you build your house on the sand. Jesus talked about it all the time. We won't go there, but he talking about they got one that built a house on the sand. They say when the winds and the rain came,
it's over with.
It beat up on the house, and the house fell because it wasn't founded upon a rock. But then there's the one that built this house upon the rock, and the winds and the rain can same wind, same rain, and it beat up on the house, but the house didn't fall because it was founded upon the rock. Connect that with when he said, "Who do men say that I am?" Then he said, "Thou art Peter." Peter means a rock, and upon this rock I'll build my people, my church. But you're not talking about the building, talking about the people. Then he says, all this great stuff that's gonna happen for you, because that's the rock. The rock is the identity, and the identity is I'm identifying with God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul. That means you identify more with God than anything else.
Yep.
That's crazy.
You identify yourself as one with Him before you identify yourself as anything else.
With everything.
Right, with everything. And so now when I say I'm one with God, all right, we really could stop there. But any other knowledge that we pick up is built off of that. So now when I know, my eating habits got to be like this, or my spending habits to be like this, or giving, or whatever, it's still built from a place of you can't stop me. Because I'm one with God. And so now the confidence, I used to wonder, bro, and y'all probably did too. I used to wonder, man, like Jesus, one of the things I picked up about Jesus, man, he was so cool all the time. Never panicked.
Never.
Wasn't tripping.
Never fluster,
he didn't fuss when they called him out his name. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't upset when people that he thought were supposed to do stuff didn't do it. It was like, all right. But that confidence comes from knowing that I'm one with God. So whether you do it or not, whether you get healed or don't get healed, God is still who He is. Maybe you just don't have the right perspective. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? He's not out here trying to prove God.
Right.
Which is what we do. Sometimes it's not.
It's expressing Him.
Because I'm confident. I used to think, but Jesus was so great because He was the Son of God. And I would stop saying, I was like, no, it's not because I didn't want to make him Superman. But then I didn't understand what the Son of God was either until I realized the equality. And so now He was just that confident. Because He's the Son of God. And us too. You see what I'm saying? And then everything that we learn.
Only we knew, right?
Yeah, it's almost like the knowledge of being one with God is the same breath that filled man, and man became a living soul. I don't think you're a living soul till you know you're one with God. That's good. Like your soul, your soul is not living. Until it's the very spirit inside of your flesh. Like your soul is not alive until you know that you're one with God. And so now everything that you know, everything that you learned or whatever, it still has no power because you hadn't acknowledged the power source.
And that's where people get to the point to where it seems like it's so hard. Because you're coming from the wrong place.
You're coming from the wrong place.
You're coming like from a place trying to get there instead of knowing that you're already there and going everywhere else.
And I got all the steps. I got all my notes. Man, my notes.
Bro,
I'll be at prayer.
Bro, we got so many notes.
Notebooks. I'm living right, whatever that is, right? Like but why is it so? And then the next thing we do, we begin to complain.
And
remember, complaining makes you compliant with complications. So when you complain, you really acknowledging that you're acknowledging difficulty. When it's really not that difficult, you're just looking from the wrong way. That's why it gets difficult for people, man. I can understand. I've been there. Y'all been? I've been there. Where I did it, like you take a blow, it's like, whoa, like
bro,
yo, like it'll make you doubt. It'll make you doubt. It'll make you question.
What's the point?
What's the point, right? But in actuality, that's make you doubt. So this is something I got yesterday. So in we're getting to a place. We've been there already. We're getting to a place where you got to know you one with God. These things are no longer optional.
Right.
There's a times and seasons in the space of eternity that God is playing. Things are getting less optional. And it's more like prerequisite, like you gotta know it, like you gotta be this. And I found out the other day that if you don't die, right, like be crucified with Christ, like die like He did, then you're either gonna be a dyer, right, or you're gonna be a doubter, a denier, or a betrayer.
Okay, run that right back.
Thomas is a doubter, right? Peter was a denier.
No, start from the beginning.
If you're not a dyer,
If you're not a dyer. Okay.
dyer like somebody that
I got you,
I don't know if that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah,
but
I got you, yeah.
I'm a dyer, right? Dyer. If I'm not a dyer,
I got you now.
then I'll be a
Crucified
doubter,
version of
a
yourself.
denier, and a betrayer.
Got you.
Yeah.
And it won't be it won't be because you did anything in particular. You just didn't come up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, I did a betrayal move. No, the fact that you don't grow is betrayal.
Ouch.
Or the fact that you don't grow is denial.
Yeah, doing
the fact
nothing.
you don't grow. Yeah.
Doing nothing is doing something.
Or doing the
because you didn't
same
do
thing
anything. Yeah.
in a new place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New wine, old bottles.
Yep.
New cloth, old cloth. Like time progression, there comes a time when there should be growth.
Gotta be.
And all of us, see, you got to find yourself.
Yeah.
In correlation and in relationship with Christ and with God and His plan for our lives, and we only got a certain span of time on the earth. If you're not progressing past certain things at certain times, you're going to deny.
Yeah.
You're going to doubt. You're going to say, "Man, I don't believe all that, man. Let me see the holes in his hand."
Innately, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be the one that say, "I don't even know that man. I don't even know," and start cussing about it, right? You're going to be the one that's going to set him up.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm talking about like God's plan. You'll betray God's plan.
Come on.
You'll deny God's plan.
Yep.
Or you doubt His plan.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? If you don't come to this place
Yeah.
Don't die.
of dying. And
That's
what dying now what, here's
everything.
dying. Dying is dying to the way that I thought it was before. Dying says, I'm not just moved by this knowledge that I'm getting, but I got to know that I'm one with God. When I'm one with God, it kills your name.
Yep.
It kills all these different things you done built for yourself. All these different ideas. It killed it. Like
They don't want to get it up.
no, they won't give it up. They don't
give
want
it
to give it
up.
because they didn't work too hard to get it. It ain't doing nothing for them
Right.
now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
Right.
doing what it could do,
Right.
but yet they don't want to give it up.
That's tough, bro.
It is the source to all life. I was about to say power, but it's really not about power. Like it's the source to everything that everything that was meant to be. That is the source.
Yeah.
God, if God is the source, me being one with Him is the source for me.
Right.
Yep.
Right? If God is the source of everything,
Right.
right, then me being one with Him is a source for everything that's in my life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my lane. Otherwise, just like if you don't be a dyer, that you're going to be a doubter, you're going to be a denier, you're going to be a betrayer. If I don't know I'm one with God, the knowledge that I do get is going to freak me out.
Right.
I'm going to end up being a nervous wreck, or I'm not going to be nothing.
You don't have nothing to filter it. You were saying that earlier.
You can't filter it.
You're right.
Like it doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Takes you
saying?
over.
It's not mixed. It's you're having the word, but not mixed with faith. That's what it's talking about. The faith of the Son of God. What's that? That I'm one with God. And so now when I get knowledge, that's why even Jesus, like even when He walked up on certain people, He had knowledge about certain things that were going on with him.
Right.
But He functioned differently than the Pharisees or Sadducees or the church at that time or whatever, whoever.
True.
Because He knew He was one with God. And here's the truth about it. When I know that I'm one with God, when I meet you, I know you are too.
Yep.
Regardless of what you're in right now,
Don't matter.
The prostitutes.
It don't matter.
Don't matter.
you one with Him. You just don't know it.
Yep.
Anybody, everybody.
Yeah. And so now my knowledge of my oneness makes me recognize the knowledge of your oneness with God.
Yeah.
And so now instead of dealing with your issue, I deal with you.
Yep.
I feel like that's how He was able to have that relationship with Zacchaeus.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because
Really?
I ain't tripping. Like I'm not
Right.
tripping. Like I'm not tripping because I know you one with God, and I know in a certain place you probably just don't know. Well, shoot, I didn't know it at one time. You know what I'm saying? So I know you just don't know it. So now my when I relate to you, I don't relate to you from outside things. I relate to you from the inside.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
that's the connection.
That's a connection. I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Right? But you can only do that when you kill. He who loses life will gonna find it.
Yep. Give it up, bro.
That's
So
all.
you got to lose your idea of where you come from, and that's very difficult because we all fake and we all front trying to hold on to this identity that ain't nothing to try to prove to somebody something
For
that
what?
ain't provable. Like you can't even prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we break it down, so now all other knowledges will either be high-mindedness or pride or ego, or can't nobody tell you nothing, or it's going to be depression and anxiety and fear and worry, confusion, doubt, all that, because it's not been filtered with the oneness with God. You know, now some people say, well, I'm one with God, so I ain't got to know that you still keep learning. Ever increasing, ever learning. But now your learning comes from a different place. And you're probably only going to learn the things that pertain to life and godliness for you. You get what I'm saying? But it's got to come from that foundation. And if it's not built on that, that's why people can know so much stuff and still, like, lose.
Look at life. Hey, when you go to church tomorrow, just look around.
Just look around. Right. No, for real, like,
just look around.
What, and then you almost like, what's going on?
What is wrong with you?
You know,
there's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. You know what's crazy? That you're connected but disconnected.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That it is. It's terrible to be and not know you be. Or
it's like being on a Wi-Fi without having the actual internet hooked up to it.
It's like crazy.
Like
bro.
I'm connected, but ain't nothing there.
And you don't even know. You don't even know. It's being. You don't even know that you're being, but you are.
Yeah.
And then hold up. Then excuse me. Then when a nigga tell you that you are, you still fight to not know.
Yeah.
That's real though.
Yeah.
Like you still
letting you go.
Because but the only reason you do that,
You want to hold on.
well, it's a defense mechanism though. It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's like when I say certain things, when we say certain things, the attack comes back so quick because you feel like I'm choking you.
Yeah.
Because I've got you there's certain things that Jesus says, right? That takes you by your neck and throw you up against the wall.
Yeah.
And you have no wiggle room to get away from it.
No.
And you can say, I've said something in church sometime before.
The truth, bro.
I've said something sometime, and they like, and so people like, sometimes people just like, I'll just shut down, I don't want to listen no more. Because it becomes so challenging that it holds you up against the wall, and now I got to fight back. Because you're trying to take what I've built myself off of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't blame them.
All my life.
Yeah, all my life I've had the fight. Right? Yeah. And so it becomes that.
Yeah, especially when you get a certain age.
Yeah. And
I don't care what you're talking about.
Built.
You can't. I
like
didn't build my whole
30s.
life on looking at it this way.
Yeah, I've been doing it for long.
And so I've been,
And I'm right.
seemingly successful at doing it.
And
You
I'm
know,
right.
whatever that looks
Seemingly
like.
And I'm right.
Yeah.
I got 20 years in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know more than you.
yeah, I know more than you. Right. Shut up. I know more than you. But like Jesus.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You said something
that's
earlier.
why I love Jesus,
you,
boy.
it might have been before we started. You talked about good success versus just success.
Yep.
Made me think about what he just said. The knowledge makes that's the difference between that. Knowing something that could be successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Besides, good success can look totally different than you just being
Right, because
knowledgeable.
once again, when our words, we did this and I'm thinking another one, but success only means what comes next.
What comes next? Yeah.
Right.
You know, we've got this whitewashed idea of success in life, so everybody wants to be successful.
wanna be
successful. Yeah, right. Then they got this thing. All right, shout out. And so we got this thing. Yeah,
I was
do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
I know.
Nah, we're gonna leave it right there. Keep going. Hey, leave
We gonna
well
replay.
enough alone.
Hey, we're gonna edit and rewind that. I just wanna be successful.
No, you're not.
But
Hater.
But we have this idea, but it says it. I think it's over. It says, but you have good success. Talks about keep the book of law should not depart from my mouth. Thou shalt meditate day and day and night. Thou shalt serve to do all this written. Then they'll make your way prosperous. You're gonna make your way prosperous.
You go do it.
And you're gonna have good success.
Yeah.
And why do you have to say if success is good? Why do I have to put an adjective with it?
All right.
Because all success is not good.
All right.
You can be a successful murderer. You can be a successful thief. You can be a successful liar. Whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
That's still success. You're successful at it. You accomplished it.
All right.
Yeah.
But is that good?
It ain't good.
Okay, right. So he's saying good success, and the difference between the two is your knowledge of being one with God.
There's only one that's good.
There's only. Come on now. Why you call me good? Ain't nothing but one, ain't nothing but good but one, and that's God.
Yep.
And the only way you become good is when you one with.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's godly success.
Simple.
And that's the only reason if
good.
you want to describe me as good, which is it's not required, but if you want to describe me as good, that's the only good thing about me.
Ouch. That's real.
Yep.
Now people don't like that.
That's real.
They don't like that because you got to give up too much, man. Like, you got to give up your bank account. You got to give up your degrees. You got to give up your titles. You got to give up everything.
Yeah.
When it comes down to that, because the only thing good about me is God.
Yep.
But it's such an empowering place because you're not building. All that's saying, can I be honest? Titles, statuses, all that stuff is saying.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when they did that, when the recession happened some years back. These people had billions of dollars, and then the next day it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm literally the wind and the rain,
They were
rain blew.
crashing planes.
Yeah, they were jumping in front of trains, all kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was built upon the sand.
Right.
You know, now there are those that lost and came back. Why? Because they knew something bigger.
Yep.
They knew it wasn't on these figurative things or these ideas, but it's built on something about my identity. And so I'll say it again, and I make it clear that if I don't build from that place, I'm building. See, that's crazy. You can build.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
But
That's
building,
true.
but
You
building,
can build
yeah, you
on
can
the
build.
same.
Yeah, you can build a business. You can build a family. You can build a relationship. You can build whatever you want to build. You can actually build.
Yeah.
But what is it? What is it built upon?
Right.
And the worst thing too is there's another scripture in the Bible talks about to tear down and to destroy and to root up, and then the plant and the build. And the worst thing is to build something
Right.
off of your idea of something and your
Yeah.
knowledge about it,
Yeah.
and not from the oneness.
Because even in today's, anytime you want to like build something on land, like you got to do testing on that land
You got to
to
test
see
it.
what's in that land.
Yep.
Because you
Yep.
can't just put it on nothing.
No, you can't, right.
On anything, you got to know what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so even in just building, like, I can't imagine like trying to build a house like just straight on the dirt without pouring a foundation.
Bro, well, just look
That's
at it.
crazy.
Like you gonna have so
Just
many
look at it.
complications,
Just look at
boy.
it. Like, hey, look
And
at
what
it.
if you knew there was no better way? Like
Yeah.
you just went through all them complications.
Like carpet
That's crazy.
on just dirt,
Ain't gonna work, bro. As soon as it
or
rains,
wood floors, or tile, or whatever.
That groundwater, boy.
Yeah, it's over with.
It's over with.
Especially down here where we in Louisiana, because we almost
sea
below sea
level,
level
yeah.
already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a ridiculous concept. You know what I'm saying? To try to build without the foundation.
Yep.
But yet we do it every day, figuratively and life wise, whatever belief wise, we build all day long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Off of knowing something. Then what being one with God does too is it's a discerner.
Right.
Because some knowledge ain't truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Something propaganda right now, like
Right,
propaganda, they
right,
talking
right.
about the war and all kind of stuff and different things. And I know but some stuff people put out there ain't the truth. It ain't
Right,
real, but it makes you feel a certain way. The media has figured out how to manipulate
Yeah.
your mindset
Oh yeah.
and then get you to believe things that aren't really in the air.
Yeah.
So what does one with God says? It doesn't matter what happens.
All right.
I'm one with God, and so now my knowledge that I do have begins to
Yeah.
kick in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a verse I like. It's in Ephesians 3 where he talks about, passing the knowledge, everything. And it's like you gotta know, what's good knowledge and what's not good knowledge.
Right,
So
right.
if you know that ain't real, you just pass by that thing.
Yeah,
You don't let that thing affect you or
Yeah,
whatever.
you don't even
Acknowledge it.
Ooh,
What's the word? We the word for it. Yeah.
We do. And so
Alley-oop.
the etymology for knowledge is acknowledgement of a superior, honor, worship. And so that's the first part of it.
Say it again.
Acknowledgement of a superior, honor, worship.
Wow. That's knowledge. Now that's the etymology of the word knowledge. Like
Yeah.
we're in 12th century, right?
Yes.
12th century, right? Keep going.
And then it gets down to what we know it now as fact, condition of knowing, awareness of a fact, news, notice, information, learning. And then we learn that, acknowledgement is the verb form of knowledge. And so it says acknowledgement, and then when you find out about something, recognize, and then to have sexual intercourse with.
We're gonna get on that one in a second. Intercourse.
It's not.
Yeah, that was my favorite
of it?
understanding of knowledge when I first learned. When they said he knew her,
He knew her,
and
I
they
was
talking about he had knew her, like slept with her,
yeah,
had
like,
sex. I was like,
hey.
bro, I love knowledge.
Like, hey, I'm like, I don't even know you. I never knew you. Depart from me, I never knew you.
Oh my God.
Bill Clinton. I never knew that woman.
Yo. Oh my God. 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 Depart from me, I never knew you.
I never became one with you.
We never had intercourse.
Oh.
Ooh, so if you don't know your oneness, like you just said.
Me and God have never mingled our being. So depart from me, I never knew you. No, that's bro.
You sound like you're making a real check.
Right. Yo, depart from me.
JD's on the beat.
Get away from me. We've never been intimate.
Ooh. Dog.
Okay, so
That hurts. That hurts.
No, you know in what's that, Corinthians, when they go into all the things you can do, right? All the things you can do.
Yeah, love
And-
child.
Yeah, and he'll still say, "Depart from me, I never knew you."
Yeah, right.
So there's like nothing you can do. So it makes me think of all the things people do that they think is making them one with God,
Yeah.
and it's not.
It's not.
There's a lot of things we do. I mean,
and a lot of those things,
They're not done in that. They're not done with that objective though. They're not done with the objective of being one with God.
they done with it being one with heaven. They trying to get in the building. Can I join the club?
Well, I mean, they mean that
Power.
they think that means they know God because they're doing these things.
Yeah,
like these good deeds.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, and so can
not.
you say that most people and a lot of people are heaven diggers, like gold diggers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Like they're really after God, and they fake giving it up to him.
Golden flow.
Yeah.
They fake giving it up,
Fake
but they ain't
giving it
really
up.
giving it up to him.
Yeah.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
never get
give
you
it up.
grabbed.
No, I'm talking for real.
Yeah.
Like
Well, let's talk about the difference between someone who is one with God and someone who thinks they are.
Okay, I think it has to be based on more than just your actions. I think your actions is not a beginning place from that. I think it may start with some actions, but the truth of it is, I have to get to the point to where there's the word knowledge. It says I acknowledge, because the verb of knowledge is acknowledge.
Yeah.
And I recognize. What do I recognize? I recognize that I'm a son of God. I come from God. I didn't come from nowhere else. This is who I am.
My origin.
And then when I recognize that that's my origin, then my actions begin to correlate with that, and they begin to change, and it become profitable.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, Jesus, Scripture, he says this. He says, well, this is the word know, right? We look at the word know, right?
Yeah.
He said, you'll know them by their fruit.
True.
Okay? So now we got the know, recognize, we got the acknowledge, we got the intimate. You become intimate with them by their fruit, right?
Come on.
So your fruit
That's a-
tells what kind of tree you are. If there's no
Fruit.
right, then ain't no root. Ain't no truth.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you tell the difference.
Yeah.
You tell the difference. And it's not really like you out here like, oh, yo, you one with God, you one with God. And then you got to recognize what is really fruit.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got to go into those conversations in RedIn30. Thank God for the Gospels and for Jesus and the Red Words RedIn30, because those conversations are broken down throughout all that process. You see what I'm saying? I go no scripture. It says it is given to you to know the mysteries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's given. It's actually given to you. It's given to you. It's given to you. It has been given to you already to be intimate with the mysteries.
Yeah.
To have sexual intercourse with the mysteries. Now get your mind out the gutter real quick, because you just think your sexual intercourse is a small scale, trash, or a small scale of something much bigger.
It's like a replica
because
of what
intercourse
is really
not
happening.
just for you feeling good. No way. Intercourse is for reproduction. Are you ready? So now
Origin.
So now you have, it is given unto you. No, he didn't say that. It is given unto you to know the mysteries, right? To have intercourse with the mysteries, to produce whatever you and the mysteries mix and produce.
Yeah.
What kind of baby that is?
Jesus.
Look, Jesus,
No,
right?
really.
So you mix your being with what be,
And that's Jesus.
and it's more creation.
Yep.
You. The real you.
Yep.
Oh, you were saying what is fruit? right? What is really fruit? I like that question because a lot of times we like to say fruit is like somebody who has a lot of things.
Right.
So like houses, somebody who have a lot of money. We say they got fruit. Clearly they doing something right. That's what we think. But then on the other side, we like to say like the fruits of the spirit is nothing physical.
It is love, joy,
Like, why
peace,
do we-
long-suffering, meekness,
why do we think
temperance.
that?
Right. And
So if that's fruit, then that's how you would tell if somebody is actually producing. Their personality is different.
And then you too, even with certain things like money or certain things like whatever, I can show you all kind of people making money
Right.
for different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But watch this. You remember? I'm gonna show you the difference. You ready? You remember? And I go back. The Bible is a story about you, so I love it. You remember when Moses went in to talk to Pharaoh, and God told him to throw his rod down and it becomes a serpent. You remember that? Y'all know the story. If you don't know the story, just go read it. It's real cool. The Bible's so dope.
Yeah.
And it comes a serpent. So Pharaoh's like, oh, ha, ha, like, you know, oh, ha, ha, ha. I thought it was something like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Right? We can do that. So all his sorcerers threw theirs down and became serpents too. Right? So now it looks like it's all the same until Moses' serpent eats all of their serpents.
Ouch.
There's a difference.
You thought.
See the difference? See, there's a difference between something happening and something being eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? There's a difference between, and then here's another thing now. Because I'm one with
Flash in the
God,
pan.
the greatest commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, right? And the second one is just like it, love your
Neighbor.
the same way.
Yeah.
Same way, same time, right? So that means the real benefit of being one with God is that everyone else becomes one with God. So now you watch this. If it's me, look what I did. I'm successful. Look at me. Pat me on the back, right? I can do that. There's no benefit for nobody else.
Nope.
Because it's not eternal, nor can it duplicate themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
You show me somebody that's got money and can duplicate themselves, and I'll show you somebody that's one with God. If you can't duplicate it,
It ain't
it
working.
doesn't matter.
True.
You get what I'm saying? And so, but it all goes back to the one. So he said, you coming about much serving. Martha, you worried about a bunch of stuff. But only.
One. One thing is needful.
And Mary chose that good thing that came to. And where was she? Sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to his word.
Yeah.
What can I do that here to eternal life? He said, have you observed the commandments? So they go through all the knowledge. He said, yeah, I've observed them. I knew all that stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Then he said, he loved on her and smiled. He said, oh man. You think you popping? No.
That's cute.
That is cute, man. Man, look at so clap for you, man.
Yeah.
What if he hugged him? He said he loved on him.
Yeah, wouldn't that make you feel like a little? Hey, wouldn't that make you feel like a little man?
Let's do
Oh,
it,
come
let's
here,
do
little
it.
dude. Come here, now, man.
That'd be
Come put
even
your hand on
worse
my
if
shoulder
he gave
like
him a
that.
hug.
That might be why he went away sad.
He might have
sad
dapped him up.
man.
He just little
He
dude.
really do me, right? But he said,
You cute.
Right.
one thing you like.
One thing, yeah.
So it's not that I need you to get rid of that stuff, but none of that means nothing if you ain't got this.
Just
Yeah.
that. Yep.
It's not that you don't serve. And
That's
get
cool.
things together. Because
That's cool.
some people look at that too. Man, still laughing. I'll be laughing at these days. The time we said, take no thought. He said, I said, what that mean? He said, don't think. I said, no, that ain't what that means. Don't mean don't think. But we can go there. You can go there so you say, well, I ain't got to be doing no serving. So I'm going to be worried about it. No, that's not the point.
All right.
It's where you're serving from. When you're the rich young ruler, so now most people, they didn't preach this for years. Or see, that's what's wrong with him. He's rich. See, he couldn't understand. No, that's not the point.
Nope.
It's not that he had a problem being rich. It was that he didn't go from the one.
Yep.
Is that not simple?
No, it is.
That's simple, ain't it?
It is.
It's so simple. It's one.
It's so simple as one.
It's one
That's
thing.
it. You'll know them by their fruit.
You don't want
Yeah.
Not
Not complicated
He
at all.
got another one. He says, and then he said, by this you'll know that the Son of Man, the equal with God, has the power to forgive sins. In other words, you'll become intimate with the understanding that your oneness with God gives you power to make people see their true identity. That sin is not knowing who you really are. People try to think sin is an action. Sin is not an action. It's a being, and it's only missing the mark. It's missing your mark, the mark of who you are, right? So now they got the power. You'll become intimate with the fact that the Son of Man. He didn't say I. It's Jesus talking. So he wasn't talking about the Son of Man as just him. He said, you'll know that the Son of Man has power to forgive sins. You a Son of Man. You a Son of Man. I'm a Son of Man. We Son of Man. You'll become intimate with the fact that Son, right? It has the power to forgive sins.
Yep.
You have the power to, and I don't know, what is forgiving sin? Is it a prayer? No. Right? It's not like I forgive you. Like, it's not the little weird stuff that we be doing. It's an actual, you know what I'm saying? When we do a bunch of weird stuff, man, it's an expression of God. It's an expression of my oneness with God that shines so bright that you see the light. And you don't see the light in me. You see the light in you. So you may become attracted to me and come follow after me. Right?
Yeah.
Right? But you don't realize that really you follow after me, I'm trying to put you next to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you that the works that I do,
Yep.
It's a reflection. Yeah.
you can do the same thing. But it comes from, I'm one with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple.
That's good. No, that's perfect.
I think it's that simple.
Well.
And I also like, too, the etymology of...
You got something to say, Jim?
Yeah, he looking up.
Well, I was just gonna say, even if you just think about, the simplicity of somebody, like seeking out a mentor or anything, like they seeking out something that they see in them that they believe is in them. And so once you do that, it's really that mentor's job to show you that this is in you. Yeah.
You too.
Like you, I'm
True.
big. I'm big on this. I've said this before. And I'm big on this. And let me speak. I know there's a lot of other people that watch this and that aren't church people. That's what we're looking for anyway.
Right.
It doesn't matter who watch. I don't care.
Anybody.
But I'm gonna speak. Let me speak from a church term, because church sometimes is a deeper ditch. You know what I'm saying? You can get more bogged down into that.
Yeah.
Sometimes because you think you're doing the right thing morally. But I told somebody, I said, even if I prophesy, I was watching a video the other night, and it was an old message I had from like 2017. And I end up ministering or talking to this young dude that came up, and we lay hands and different things like that, but you never knew what it was, and so you can really think that it's somebody got so much power they putting power on somebody. But I never forget God describing to me what was going on. It was that the power is inside of you is rising. Higher than you recognized it before, and that's why you lose your legs. But it's only the power inside of me that's connected to the power inside of you. It's power that you got already. I'm not giving you anything. I would also say too, like, even if I prophesy with somebody, one of the things that I would always say, if prophesy, like, y'all know how I feel about all that.
Bro, just
But even if I don't know, but I just been in so long, man, like, and then people got these keywords, and they be like, oh, yo,
yeah.
But even if I was to have something, some insight or something, I would say, now this is what I know, this is what it is, and you could have known this too if you knew you were one with God. So you didn't need me to tell you this. Like, you kind of needed me to tell you because you didn't understand now, but you don't need to come to me. Yeah. You don't need to keep coming to me.
It's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so come to me, all you that labor heavy laden, I give you rest. This is in the same message I was talking about. I gotta go. I'm gonna send it to you but it says, come unto me, all you labor and the heavy laden, and I give you rest. He says, take my yoke upon you. So I want you to take the yoke upon you, right? Don't try to ride my yoke. Take your yoke upon me and learn of me, for I'm meek and lowly in heart. And then he says, you'll find rest for your soul. I thought he was gonna give me rest. No, the way I give it to you is by showing you how to find it. You find it because if I can never teach you how to find something, you'll always know how to get there.
Yeah.
You'll never need me to show you where it's at again. You ever had somebody show you something, like you be in somebody's house or something, and be like, oh, look at that drawer right there. Now I know where it is. So whenever, now the conversation short or not, go give me them scissors.
Yeah.
But where the scissors at? No, we don't have to have a conversation
Right.
anymore. We don't have to ask God, hey, God, where it? No, we don't have to ask that no more because we won now.
We've done that already.
We've done that. I've showed you how to find it. I've showed you where it was. I showed you where it was. I showed you where it was already.
Yep.
I've already showed you where it's hidden at. I already showed you where your rest at. So because I showed you where, I've shown you, bad English. Well, I've shown you where it is, you're always able to find it.
Yep.
Light, dark, storm, rain, snow, hail, right?
Where is it?
It don't matter. You always know where it's at. So even if you can't hear me,
You can still.
you know where it's at.
I like that part too. As I mentioned earlier, like before that, we was talking about knowing that you one with God. But I like how he said. We talking about people you got to put down their degrees and this and that, but it say how he hid it from the wise and the prudent.
Because
they thought that they knew already. So
they knew.
like me trying to explain or express to you that you one with God, it ain't gonna get nowhere. And so that's why I'm happy you hid it from these people.
Wise.
Because they just not gonna get it.
Right, and I'm glad you caught me before. I thought I was wise and prudent.
Yeah.
It said in the days reading, it said that too. He says, who has ears to hear, let him hear. Some of them some of them seeing, but they don't see it. Hearing, they don't hear. He said, lest they hear with their ears and see and then they be converted. They're changed. They'll be changed. He said, but some of y'all not going.
Just not. Yeah.
You're not gonna
And
hear.
he didn't waste his time. That's why he was talking in parables on purpose.
It said that. It said
like,
that. It said that in the reading today.
I want y'all who not gonna hear me not to hear me.
Yeah,
Like I'm not even
actually-
gonna.
You're not trying to hear me anyway.
Yeah, they asked him. They said,
Right.
They said, why you talking in parables? He said, well, listen, this is it. Because some of them they seeing, but they don't see. And they're not even trying to.
Right.
No.
So I'm just gonna talk in parables so that I won't waste my breath. And then he that had ears to hear.
Go hear it.
That's why I love Jesus too, bro. Because he was like, I understand this about people.
Yep.
So
That's what I'm learning. Because
That's what he said.
it's hard. It's hard, bro.
He said he knew it was.
No, it's not hard.
it's not because he much be like, no, but listen.
Hey.
He's pretending to smack somebody upside their head.
Hey.
For the
audio.
For the audio only.
Hey.
Right.
You're one with God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Go back to the same place. Hold on. Let's go back. Hey, you know the little meme they do? They talking about the little video they do where your mama doing homework with you when you was younger, and talking about if you got 4 bananas right here and 3 bananas over here, how many you got? 12. No, if you got 4 bananas, you ain't never seen that video? It's a black mama doing homework with the kid, and he like super young.
Yeah.
No answer.
He like, you got 4 bananas right here and 3 bananas right here. How many you got? Count them. How many you got? 1, 2, 9.
You catching a whooping.
Right, catching a whooping. If you got 4 bananas,
I said
4. Look at your
1,
fingers. Look at
2,
your fingers.
3,
1,
4.
2, 3, 4. Now put 3 on your other hand. 1, 2, 3. How many is that? 8. Bro, that's so funny, dog.
Oh my God.
I think it's like God be feeling, bro.
True story.
But what you said just now is testament. I got to learn.
Yeah.
I'm learning to do that. You know what I'm saying? To take no thought.
Yeah, cause I thought about rest today, man. It's like he understood, bro. Cause Jesus didn't, even though cause his ministry was like every day, like almost all day or whatever.
Yeah.
But he understood how much, how important rest was.
Yep.
And he wasn't gonna let people just burn him out.
No.
Even though he knew he had a certain amount of time, he still wasn't gonna let people cut that certain amount of time shorter than they needed to
Efficiency.
be.
Yes.
Efficiency, bro. Efficiency.
And so that just helped me, bro. Cause I'm like,
Well, look.
I get it. Like,
You know he cared about rest if he had that scripture in there saying, I give you rest for your soul.
Yeah, give you rest for
Y'all
your
working
soul.
too hard.
I give you rest for your soul.
Y'all need to chill too.
all right.
I give you rest for your soul.
Have been doing way too much.
And I read something too, like about that part, because they said like when he offered that, it was because they had other religious teachers or whatever, they had their yoke or whatever, or they message
The burden to carry. It's a burden to carry.
And so they was trying to pass it out to people, and people was like, bro, this is too hard, bro.
It's too difficult, bro. It's too much.
So that's why Jesus, he was like,
Come here.
come to me.
Come over here. I bet they hated
I'm gonna make it easy for you.
I bet they hate it. He said,
Just one.
because my yoke, my burden.
It's easy.
Oh, I never seen it like
It's like,
that.
yeah. Because everybody else, they were trying to get you, jump through hula hoops, do this, do that.
Really? And making it impossible.
Making
for
it
you
impossible.
On
Because
purpose.
they said at that time, too, it had like over 600 something laws.
Bruh. That's why they kept bringing stuff in to get sacrifices.
Yeah, like,
they was
bruh.
making that money too, though. That's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. 'cause
You'll
every time
never
you
be
mess up-
right.
Yeah.
You'll
You
never
mess
be
up.
right.
Because every law you break, this how you get it right.
Pay your
this.
penance. Pay your dues. Right?
Dude.
Bro, that's crazy. And then, my yoke is easy. And my burden is,
Light.
and it's 2 ways. Light, like not heavy, but light, like light.
Like,
So another thing that I really have you carrying is
Yeah.
illumination. Like a light. Yeah, like a light. We lit. You're Liddy. I'm going to bring out that RedIn30 one night.
What,
I got a
Liddy?
new dog named Liddy.
Oh, yeah.
She like white.
Yeah.
And
she
hyper.
Like white and hyper, so I call her Liddy because she like her light.
Like a light.
We lit. So, but yeah, that's tight.
Yeah.
So, knowledge, man, like, you didn't say what you don't know won't hurt you. Yeah, what you don't know will kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes what you do know will kill you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it'll be a slow kill. So you gotta, just knowing. And I'm gonna say this till the day that I transition from this earth or whatever. However this all ends up, I'm gonna be saying it because I cannot not say it anymore. That you must remember you are one with God. Now don't think about it from the point of you're all powerful or all knowing. Because you know your beginning. You don't know your end yet, but you know your beginning. You know when you start. You know when you start existing. As far as a physical person, right?
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Stop trying to know all the stuff that you don't need to know. Some things you don't want to know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us the truth. You know the movie. Remember, I think it's The Firm or whatever. Not The Firm. It was I can't remember what it was. Jack Nicholson. He said, "Tell us." It's
Oh, you can't handle the truth. Yeah.
You can't handle the truth. That's truth.
All right.
Sometimes some things you don't want to. Some things you don't. I just need to. What is it that God wants me to know and be and have right now?
Yeah. So I'm about to tell you, just kind of expound on like knowing the truth.
Oh yeah, John 8:32.
Yeah.
He says, and know. So remember, now know is acknowledging, recognizing, right? Is the first part. It said, what is it? Worship and
Honor.
supreme and superior.
Yeah, acknowledgement of the
right, that's crazy,
superior.
right?
Yeah.
But John 8:32, he says, well, the other scripture is John. I know this scripture, yeah, but I can't think about it right now. But he says, I know it, bro. I know it. No, I know where it's at.
Say it.
I don't know where it's at clearly because I'm ain't intimate with
Quote.
it right now.
You about to quote it? But you know
Yeah,
what
I
it
know
says.
where it's at.
But you know what it says, though,
Okay.
right?
We gonna
John
wait.
6.
33?
No, that's Matthew 6:33. John 6:33. I know John 6. John, y'all know what it is. It's, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
It's better to know what it says than know where it is sometimes.
6:14. It's 6:14, right? Am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. I knew that, bro. My mind just went 6:14. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man coming to the
Father.
Father but by me, right? I'm right? Wait, 6:14? It ain't John. It's John 6:4, 6 and something. Ah man, I know, bro. I know.
I mean, but you said it.
I know, but it's just in my head. I gotta go look for it now. Is it John 6? It ain't John 6. Huh? Hold up, it's somewhere. Hold on. Huh? 14:6, not 6:14. 14:6. I went all the way up. Flip.
Wait, it was
Right?
14:6?
14:6. Yeah, I was close. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man can follow. All right. So I know John 8:32 says, and ye shall,
Know the truth.
No.
and you
Yeah.
shall know, recognize, acknowledge, know that it's superior, honor,
Worship.
Worship.
intercourse,
Be intimate. Yeah.
right? Be intimate with the truth.
Marry the truth.
Yep.
So wedlock, too.
It's a wedlock on that too.
Yeah.
And the truth. So hold on, wedlock. That means
Yeah.
you married to what you know? Oh, so you become So hold on. So you become wedlock. We love that. And the two become one flesh. Come on. Right? And the two become, we're no longer two, no longer one. I see two of y'all standing there, but now you're one, right? Paul started talking about, he said, man, it's a great mystery because I'm speaking concerning Christ and the church.
Yeah.
But you say two become one, right? But we like to say that, right? So wedlock, that means you become wedlocked. Lord Jesus, wedlock. With wedlock.
Lock it down.
Lock it down with what you know. You become one with what you know.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy,
Yeah.
ain't it?
Yep.
And so now, but watch this. If you know the
You become
truth,
one with
you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you, not set you. All right, because I like the freedom. It will make you the freedom that you already are.
Yep.
It will make you free when you become intimate with the truth.
Yep.
What's the truth? Oh my God,
Yep.
that's the ultimate truth.
Yep.
I'm one with him, and it sets everything else in my life and my mind set straight.
Yep. Makes life easy. Makes life easy, bro.
Yep. Nope.
No. Wedlock.
Yep.
United.
United.
With
Recognize. Sex.
acknowledge.
Intercourse. Intimacy. All that, right?
Right.
Oh, man.
But that just shows the depth that you gotta have a grip on it though.
Right.
Like it takes that much. You gotta like know it and have it that much
Right.
for you to
Would
really.
you say that's why people are obsessed with becoming one with someone?
Because
That's who you actually are, is to crave that. Because if you look at, life in general, that's
that's a good point. That's a good take.
yeah.
That's a good take, Nikita.
Good
That's
take.
crazy.
That's a good take.
I think it has something to do with it.
Yeah, they looking for the wrong one.
Yes.
They focus on the wrong one.
Focus on the wrong one, right? Right.
Calm down.
On that
Oh,
person.
That's how we
or
gonna end
whatever.
it all.
Calm down.
Yeah.
You already
Because
are.
we are, and we could be advocates for this. We are so comfortable or confident, bro. I got you, bro.
Okay, all right, cool.
If
Let him talk.
if it doesn't comply or
What are
agree
we
with
gonna
you,
advocate?
then you can go ahead and you
What
can
are we-
rebuke it and cast it down afterwards.
Hey, if he gave that gunshots, dog, that'll be hilarious.
I love them gunshots. Shout out to EJ, man.
Oh my God,
I
man.
love them
Oh
gunshots.
my God, man.
But we all
I trust you, bro. Go ahead. I'm an advocate. Go ahead.
But I'm saying we all we're so confident, and we are in a place to where we're not like urged or eager to be joined to some other one because we're confident
You're with the
in
one. You're confident in the
being
one.
one.
You're confident in the one.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
process becomes smooth. Like the process becomes smooth.
That's the truth.
Because now I gotta see one in you.
Yeah, right. I got to see one of you.
Right.
If I don't see one, that means I see none.
Right.
I might see two or three. Like, hold on. Well, too many up in there right now.
Yeah, don't try to be with me to get my one.
Yeah,
Then you start
don't-
frustrating the grace.
Try to fraction my one. 'Cause see, it's averages.
Yeah, trying to split
It's
you.
averages.
Yeah.
See, hold on, let me go.
That's
some
why you want me to
averages.
get 50 so you can get my other 50.
Let's go on some averages.
Ain't
Ready?
gonna
Average.
happen. You still,
The average,
you came in to take.
You came in. You're a
You know
taker.
what I'm
You ain't coming
saying?
and giving.
You a
You ain't
taker.
coming giving.
You a one digger. You trying to yeah right. You a one digger.
Hey, that's a t-shirt. dog.
Get the gat. Come on, get the gat. All right, so
One nigga.
hey.
I've seen that dance
But
way
it's
too much
average.
on
I like that
TikTok.
dance.
TikTok.
But it's the averages, right? Averages says you take all the numbers involved and then add them up and divide by the number of numbers, right? So averages. So I would always say, like, if I'm a, we're gonna say it a 10, okay?
Right?
If I'm a 10, and you're
4, 5.
don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me, bro. Hold on. 'Cause it was six. It was six.
Y'all getting way
It
too
was six.
personal.
It was six. There's an ongoing
You're
joke.
getting way too personal.
I'm gonna say what it is. There's an ongoing joke. They be trying to play me.
Somebody was a six.
Over the years, me and my boy, him and my homeboy Ryan, shout out to Esteban, in talking to girls, you know, we got this
Way too
primitive thing that we do
personal.
is we rate them by numbers, right? We just did. That ain't one with God, but we getting better, right? I guess it ain't one with God. I don't know, but
That was in our past life.
so they want to tell me that I was talking to a bunch of sixes.
5s and 6s.
Fives and
say
six. Well, no, you ain't never
fives
said
and
fives. Hold up. We ain't never said fives. Y'all always said six. We never go lower than six, number one. Hold on.
Why would you do that to him on
we
the radio?
never. I don't care.
We
I don't
recorded.
care. I know.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
But
All right.
they weren't sixes. They were trying to play me. They weren't sixes, but y'all was trying to play me, bro. They might be sixes. No. Now.
Oh my.
After me. But they weren't sixes when I found them.
No comment.
Okay, so anyway,
ladies,
we're gonna leave it
you're
alone.
more
Hold
than a
on, hold on.
number.
But
You're more than a number.
You're more than a number.
You're more than a
Your number
number.
need to be
Forget
more
what
than what
these
it is.
niggas saying.
Your number is more than what it is.
You need to be a 1, girl.
You need to be a one. You know what? Hey,
need to
but
be
it's
a
a power of
one.
averages. If I'm a 10,
Right.
and you're an 8,
For the sake of the discussion.
we add 10 and 8 together, you get 18, right? You divide it by 2, what you got?
9.
9. Now I gotta live a 9 lifestyle, although I came in as a
10.
and I gotta live one notch down because I joined myself to you.
8.
You're killing my average. I might be killing your average. So
Might be
watch
right
this.
there.
If you a 1
Oh, goodness.
and I'm a 1,
That's 2.
right?
That's 2-1.
Divided by 2.
You end up gonna be a 1.
About 1.
Yeah, it is.
That's 1.
Easy.
Or just,
easy.
they just both be 10s.
Right.
You still end up with 1.
Still number 1. Yeah.
Either way,
I mean,
be equal.
yeah.
But since we talking about one with God, we
Yeah,
gonna-
for the sake of understanding oneness.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying, bro. Yeah, that's the most important part.
That's the most important part, bro.
Being one.
Hilarious.
Don't join with nothing but one.
But one. If they ain't one,
Well, be one first.
that's the whole point. Just be one. And even you got people now in situations. You got people in that situations that didn't go in
What?
with that knowledge that can, like from now, go ahead and be one.
I'm listening to you.
No, you wasn't.
These two are cracking. They're doing the most.
Hey, bro, it wasn't no sixes, bro.
Who?
He trying to play me like
They're
a
playing
sixes.
games.
Bro.
It's in their eyes, bro. hey, we gonna talk after. We gonna talk after, all right?
Yo.
Well, I can show you. Okay.
Hey.
Thanks for listening.
When we
today.
do the episode with Raj, we have to have a strict subject matter.
Because if not,
Oh my God, it's gonna be
if
4
not, it's gonna be
hours.
retarded.
It is. It'll be retarded because it's gonna be like us in like just a regular conversation.
I know. We got
And
to
you
bring
know,
it
we
back
can
to
get up
Jesus.
there. Yeah. But one.
But one.
Wildin'.
So one. So know that you're one.
Knowledge of one.
Follow us on @RedIn30 on Instagram. We've been popping with the Instagram.
Yeah,
Check
yeah.
out the new website,
Facebook
RedIn30.com.
and Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter.
We got a Facebook.
We got
We
a whole.
actually
We got a
do.
whole Facebook.
We actually do.
We got a whole Facebook,
Yeah.
bro.
Bet.
We do. And with Twitter.
Like us.
And like us on there.
I got to interact with it on Facebook
Share
too.
it. Yeah. Straight up. Share it. It's got a whole bunch of new stuff, man. We got all kind of content coming, so y'all get ready. We got some funny
Yeah.
stuff coming too. Oh my God, bro! When you see what's up the line,
Yeah.
oh my
The
God,
memes
bro.
on the way.
Some people
The
gonna
memes
get their
on the
feelings
way.
hurt, but they gonna be okay because Jesus did that.
Okay.
We're RedIn30.com. Make sure you get on the 30-day reading. The podcast is on YouTube. So if you're watching it right now, you know where it is already. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. We're on Anchor. We also have another podcast called The Gospels Podcast, where it's the reading every day. Shout out to Jam, it's the fresh vibes. We got a little music behind it. Or we got the Just Words, where it's just the reading of the gospel without the words. This year we're endeavoring to do a couple different versions, and we're gonna start kicking off. We talked about it during RedIn30 Kids, so it's gonna be dope to start teaching the kids in a cool way about that. We're gonna plan some more live events, I think.
Yeah.
Soon we're gonna see what's feasible for us
Yeah,
to
because
do.
that Christmas joint was
Oh,
fire,
it was
bro.
lit, bro. It was lit. It was up
We
there.
have to have more interaction next time.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
I
think
was
they didn't
extremely
know.
tired last time too.
Yeah.
I was
It was a long
tired.
day.
It was a long day, man. I was like,
day.
next time I need to make sure I take a nap.
Yeah, it's a long day. It's a long day. And I think too, sometimes we're so conditioned to sit in service and listen.
Not used to saying anything.
We're not used to having conversations. You know what I'm saying? That's why you do it at different places. At least you think it is, but we'll set it up.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be like, yeah, so this is subject, and then we're like,
Right, maybe next time they can say,
well, just leave an awkward silence.
Make it
Somebody gotta say
suggest-
something. Like,
some people will sit there.
10 hours later.
That awkward silence.
we just,
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm just like gonna say, I'm just like,
You already know my vibe. I'm about that life.
Start falling asleep.
Stubborn as a mug.
oh, y'all not gonna say
All
that?
right.
Well, this has been RedIn30, guys. I'm just in that mug going out, right? That's how y'all want to live, all right? So, all
Yeah,
right,
it'll
but
be better
RedIn30.com. Y'all got anything else? Anything else you want to say? RedIn30.com?
we're good.
Am I missing anything?
Nah, that was lovely.
Cool.
I love that episode.
All right, we out episode 20 in 2020.
20.
We popping.
20.
See you next
RedIn30.com. All right.
time.
20.
Y'all are so loud.
Thank you for watching and listening to the RedIn30 podcast, where we talk about Jesus, truth, and you. Make sure you subscribe and share this with somebody that you love. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook. We are RedIn30, so you need to be RedIn30. RedIn30.